Page 164, A Little Blues. Just another exercise or lesson in reading music. Nothing new, just read the music. See if you can sight read it, or at least sight read one hand at a time. I'll go through the process I use to learn a piece of music though. I look it over, it's a page long. Treble and bass clef, no sharps or flats in the key signature. This is in the key of C major, even though it sounds weird. That's because it's blues. Blues music uses a lot of seventh chords, and that's what that is. It's a seventh chord, a major seventh. It's still in C major. It could be in a blues scale. I don't teach blues scales, but we're going to use C major. So if you're doing scales and arpeggios, do the scale and arpeggio for C major and A minor, because it has no sharps or flats. And 4/4 time signature. Now, if you were actually going to sight read this, you would have done all of that in your head first. Just quickly go through all that in your head before you play the first note. And then you would look it over to see if there's anything hard in it. And I see a bunch of eighth notes, hardest part. The left hand's basically quarter notes. And then once you have an idea what's in it, then you dive in and try and play it. However, I'm going to stick to the process. Right hand, it's here, 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Major 5, you're up here. You got one beat rest to come up here. Same thing. Major 9, you come up one note, then come down, and then back down here. And in the next to the last measure, the measure 15, that D sharp is good for the rest of the measure. So all of those Ds are sharped. If they wanted them natural, they'd have to put in a natural song. No, but they didn't. Okay. Left hand has this pattern. You'll see it. You're going here. This is very common in blues and boogie woogie. And when I get this kind of pattern, I don't like using the thumb for everything. So I generally use second finger for the bottom one and use thumb for the other. So it's here and then. Same thing up here. Same pattern. And then I'm using 2-5 or 5-2 for these, not 5-1 for the bottom. Then I put the hands together and see what happens. Well, it's here. It's pretty simple. It's the same pattern throughout most of it. You're just playing the 1, 4, and the 5 chords. And remember, in blues, typically they will play the 1, 4, and the 5 chords, except, of course, blues typically will use seventh chords. So it would be a 1-7, a 4-7, and a 5-7, and everything's a seventh chord. This doesn't, but a lot of times the blues will do that. And notice this piece is 12 measures long, 12-bar blues. This may not follow the actual 12-bar blues pattern of chord progression, but it's close. And so I give it any hesitations anywhere. And the articulation, you're lifting up. This, you just play it. It's not staccato. No, just play them. They come out staccato automatically. It's a long staccato. And then the dynamics, well, you're starting soft. That's the right hand. This is very soft. And you have to be careful about that because this left hand, it will start to get louder and louder all by itself, and pretty soon it's taken over. And you're playing it really loud. So be aware of this left hand and keep it way in the background. Now the second line is a little less soft. Moderately soft. Major 9's louder, moderately loud. Then moderately soft, and then soft. Like you were at the beginning. As far as the speed goes, it says slowly, a slow blues. And I would play it in a blues style. And that is, I'm going to swing the eighth notes. You just do it. There's nothing says to do it. Now, if it goes really slow or really fast, you can't swing the eighth notes because they won't swing. No. But if we play it slowly and yet fast enough to swing the eighth notes, then it comes out 1 and 2 and 3. So that next to the last measure with all the eighth notes. Here. So That's not slowly. It's sort of a moderately slow. But we have to think about the overall feel of it. And this, those dotted half notes will last forever if you play it slowly. And those things are lasting way too long. And then a dotted half note tied to a half note, well, forget that. So we need to play it a little faster so this melody, how fast do we need that? And that would be our slowly. Now there's a ritardo there at the bottom, a rit, where you're going to slow down. And it's like I said before, when you go too fast or too slow, you can't swing the eighth notes. So what we typically will do there is when we slow down, we will start evening out the eighth notes. So the last two measures is just like that last beat, I played even eighth notes because I slowed down too much to swing them again. That last note, by the way, has an AV8 under it, so you go down another octave. Here, if you don't have it, you have a short keyboard, play the lowest C you have, it's close enough. Now they've used pedal on this. Pedal is going to connect these, and it's going to give us the overtones, because when we play a note that lasts a while, we'd like to give it the overtones. Otherwise, it just sits there and dies away. And the only interest you would get is if the piano's a little out of tune with itself, and it goes wah 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 wah. You hear that? It's the piano's slightly out of tune, and you say, "Oh, that's cool." No, it's out of tune. We want the overtones, the overall feel of it. So we use pedal. It's going to be overlap pedal. We're going to connect it all, but we're going to raise it up for the rest. So we get one beat of silence. So at the beginning, notes first, and then pedal. Now, if that sounds okay to you, fine. I think it sounds terrible. I don't want that. No. So I'm going to have to try and protect these eighth notes. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change it on the first two beats here. This cleans it out. That cleans it out. Still connect the quarter note. Measure 4, I'm going to lift it up on beat 3. I don't want, it's too much, so I'm going to lift it up on beat 3. We clear out the overtones just for that last little beat, because there's a rest afterward, and then we do it again. Like so, and I think that's the way I'm going to pedal it throughout. Now at the last line, the last two measures, this, that's way too blurry for me. So I'm going to have to change it with every beat here. The last measure, hold it down for the whole measure. We want it all there. Yeah. That's what I suggest on the pedal. You can pedal it like it's shown. Your teacher may have other ideas on pedaling too. Some teachers teach that you don't mess with the pedaling. Do it the way the book says. I think that's unfortunate, because then you start hearing junk. Because of the simple pedaling. I'd rather you not hear the junk. Keep in mind in the last measure, while I'm playing this, want to hear this. So don't drown it out. When you play that last note, I still want to hear that E. So that last note's got to be really soft. Don't use the soft pedal, that's cheating. You got to learn to do this. Just stroke it very gently with the hand. Come down, don't come straight down. Come down this way, and it'll get softer. Different pianos are different, so you have to experiment with each piano. Let's play this together slowly. It's slow anyway. I'll give us 4 counts. I'm not doing the louds and softs. We're just playing notes. We're checking notes and rhythms, and I'll go ahead and do the pedaling like I suggested. 1, 2, ready and go, and